Welcome to the Minecraft Community Spotlight. Today we're going to be taking a look at a particular gem known as Buildcraft, done by Space Toad. Really cool mod. A lot of stuff to do in it. A lot of neat features. So many that it's almost hard to tell where to start. The basic idea of the mod is that you can create, I'd say industrial complexes is the term I'd use. You have a lot of different kinds of pipes, waterproof pipes, item-moving pipes, current-carrying pipes that can be used for power, redstone generally, but typically these engines are what you're looking at here. And the whole idea is that you can create automation. Automation for building, resource gathering, mining, all kinds of stuff. For example, what we've got here is an oil refinery. It's very crude. I'm sure someone will point out that it's inefficient and ugly and it could be done better, but that's all right. Not too bad for the third try here. Basically what you've got is a liquid pump first, this one here. This opening in the ground was spewing oil at one point, which is a new resource that comes with the mod. And so what this pump does is it extends a little, I guess you'd call it a hose or valve pipe, and it draws this oil out over time. Now I've got the oil set up where it's getting collected in some tanks, setting up over here on the side, right here. And this oil then gets brought to this refinery and is powered by this array of engines I got over here, which I'll explain in a minute, and is refining fuel and dumping it here. Now the fuel is primarily used to power engines. Go ahead and turn those redstone engines off for a second before they overheat. They're not really in danger of it, but I'll let them cool for a minute. Let's see here. There we go. That said, engines, like this one here, can be powered by oil, lava, or fuel. Like I've got this one full of fuel. You can't see it, but I've got lines running underground from this pipe here that go to this engine array, and they fill them with fuel constantly. We've also got water pipes from a variety of sources that will fill these things with water so they don't overheat. This is a combustion engine specifically, and combustion engines will overheat quickly if they're not cooled by water. But they also have the highest power output of any engine that is in the mod. There is also the redstone engine, these right here, and they are powered just by a standard redstone current. While they overheat very slowly and don't require water for cooling, they're also the weakest generator there is. So they're fairly reliable for a single pump or, other minor things. Like here, these oil tanks, I have a wooden waterproof pipe set to the bottom of the tank, and you need these as an output to pump things to other tanks or devices. The rest of these are gold waterproof pipes because they are efficient and awesome looking, and I like them and I don't care. So, let's see. Now this array of engines I actually have powering the refinery. It does require a bit of power. I have 4 running at a time at all times, just as redundancy in case one of them decides to give out on me. And I also have it set up in such a way where if any of them start to overheat, I can shut off one array and activate the other over here. Or have all 8 going at the same time if for some reason I need more power. Now all this is great at producing fuel, that's wonderful, but what's the point if all I'm doing is collecting fuel? Well, this refinery does exist for a reason. As I collect the fuel and refine it and gather it in this tank here, I will then activate the pump, which will carry it through these pipes. Oh, look at that, I disconnected the line. Suppose now's a good time to show how it connects. Get a golden waterproof pipe here. There, connected. And it runs down this array, all the way over here, through a mountain, across some supports, up a hill. Yeah, I got some water on the line at one point, just ignore that. To another engine array, which is powering a quarry. Quarries are great devices. You can, before I talk about it, let's take a look at it. Right here, here's your quarry. Got the power line hooked up to it from those generators here, or these engines rather. Got some chests connected to the sides, that way when the quarry is mining out dirt, rocks, minerals, whatever, it doesn't just spew them out the top, because that's what it'll do if you don't have any chests near it. Otherwise, it just collects them right here. The quarry, in this particular case, is just mining out this entire area I've designated. This is a much larger area than the default 9x9. When you usually put a quarry down, it'll have a 9x9 area, and it will mine everything within that 9x9 straight down to bedrock, provided it has power. I made this one a lot larger by use of landmarks. Landmarks are really handy. You can use them for all kinds of marking purposes, although quarries primarily. Very simple, you just set them on the ground in any configuration you like. Let's say there, there, and here. And then you click the two connecting ones. Oh, I guess it would help if I actually made them. That's a good example. To point out, they will only connect to ones that are actually on the same parallel line. But here they've created an effective area. And within this area, if I were to attach a quarry on the outside of one of these landmarks, it would create a frame much like this one, the defined mining area. So they are really useful for that. You can make a really small area, a really large area, up to 64 by 64, which doesn't sound big, but I'll put it this way. This is not 64 by 64, and it is huge. It will take a long time to mine all this down to bedrock. The upside is there'll be a lot of resources when it's done. Of course, at any time, I can come over here and collect the resources if I so choose. Looks like mostly it's gotten cobble and dirt so far. I'm not actually seeing any iron or anything in here yet. But we're pretty high up right now. So I'm not really surprised that it hasn't gotten to the good stuff yet. Well, there's some coal right there, for example. Whenever the diamond-tipped miner gets over to the coal, it'll dig it up just like it's doing right here with the stone. And collect in that chest over there, and I can use it for whatever I want. Like torches or torches. Or fueling furnaces. And other stuff. Buildcraft is complex, I will say that. It has a little bit of a steep learning curve at first, and there's not really that many written tutorials about the mod out there, but there is a wide array of video tutorials, quite a number of them. Some of the most well-known are done by Direwolf20, who does a lot of mod reviews as well, primarily the tutorial variety. He has done some really good reviews on this particular mod, as well as others. So if you're looking for a good introductory look at how to do Buildcraft and not blow yourself up or ruin your map, definitely check out his videos. They are definitely worth a watch. In fact, I picked up a lot of tips from that. So that is, in a nutshell, Buildcraft. I think before I end this video, I do want to take a look at one other thing. I don't have any blueprints ready, but I'd like to show it off anyway as an item because it's a really cool concept called a builder. Where are you, builder? Well, you know what? We'll take a look at the automatic crafting table too. Mining wells. Well, okay, so we're not quite done. Well, I've already got an automatic crafting table set up here, so I'll just explain it. Automatic crafting tables are awesome. They are very much like a standard crafting table in that they've got a standard 3x3 area, and you can make an item just like you would normally and pull it out. But if you leave a template item in there, like this right here, and then you put the requisite materials in this chest, and provide a source of power from an engine, redstone's usually sufficient, it will start creating materials, in this case the wooden sword, and they will go out this pipe. I could sit here and explain it all day, but why not just show it? So we've got sticks in there, we've got wood planks. We activate the engine, and what it'll do is start cranking out swords. I would imagine the faster or better engines would produce faster materials, of course, but for demonstration purposes, this is sufficient. I have enough wooden swords for an army now. Yes. Now I can invade the hills. Creepers fear. Good stuff. So it's really good for automation, for construction, especially if you know you're going to be cranking out a lot of, tools of a given type or blocks of a given type, and you don't want to just sit there and click it all day. It's really cool. The mining well is useful if you don't have the resources to build a quarry. As I'm sure you can imagine, a quarry is quite expensive to put together. It requires some very exotic materials, a number of different gear types. The gears being here. You have wooden, stone, iron, gold, and diamond. They're fairly easy to make, but as you get higher up, they do get pricier and pricier in terms of material cost. And it takes, as I recall, 2 diamond, 2 iron, and I believe 2 stone gears, as well as some other materials to make a quarry. So as awesome as a quarry is, it is pricey, to say nothing of the power requirements it has. I mean, I've got, 3 combustion engines here running in the, fuel refinery over there powering them, as they're constantly full of fuel now. And a water pump over here specifically designed to cool them and nothing else. Those water pipes are nice because they run underground. You don't see them. I tried to make that clean as I could. Anyway, if you are cheap or you are just starting out, the mining wheel is a good alternative. What it can do, instead of mining out a defined area, is it will mine out just a little 1x1 shaft straight down. And it's not terribly quick about it. We'll attach a redstone generator here, or engine, sorry. I keep calling it a generator, it's not a generator. And we'll power it. And what it should do here in a minute, once the engine gets up and going, is it will start burrowing straight down. It'll create a mining tube or pipe, and it'll dig everything underneath it straight down to bedrock. At that point, of course, you could turn it off and examine the shaft or collect materials. Now, I haven't connected a chest to this thing, so it will eventually start spewing items out the top. And give me a second now here. I am going to watch it spew items. Spew. Oh, aren't you being stubborn? Oops. Yes, let's attach a switch to it. Perfect. I wonder if maybe it's not getting enough power. In hindsight, I've never actually tried to use a redstone engine for this thing before. It may just not be strong enough. That is interesting. Well, I'm too lazy to set up a steam or combustion engine for this one, so what I'm going to do is just create more redstone engines. Because I'm lazy and that's how I roll. Now that's either going to be enough, or I'm just going to have to set up combustion eventually. Okay. Look at it go. Well, I'll give that some time to warm up. In the meantime, I will talk about the builder. Where are you, builder? Well, this architect table, which is useful. Filler. Builder, here you are. Builder. Very simple how this works. When you have a blueprint, you put it in the builder. Now, how you make a blueprint in this case, if you wanted to, or what sort of blueprint you'd want to make, let's say you liked making a specific type of house. I'm just going to make a really cruddy house here. And you were like, hey, this is the most awesome house ever, and I want to make an entire village out of this crummy 3x3 hole in the ground. Well, what you do then is create a blueprint of this thing. The method of which, of course, can be seen in tutorials everywhere. Feed the blueprint into this machine, and it could create, provided you feed the resources into the machine, what you have put the blueprint of anywhere you like within the defined area. So it is basically an automatic constructor. Really, really useful. I like it. Oh, hey, it started to dig. So slow. Okay, redstone engines are just not powerful enough for this thing. So let's try something a little bit better because I really want to show you how this thing works. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a combustion engine, and I don't even care if it overheats. I'll throw a bucket of fuel in there. I'll cheat it because I am a dirty, filthy cheater. Okay. You do get to keep your buckets if you happen to put in fuel that way, although I would say if you're going to run fuel lines to combustion engines, definitely use pipes and refineries and stuff because that takes a lot of the micromanagement out of it. Now, any engine will require some kind of signal to know that it needs to go on. Even though the combustion engine isn't actually powered by redstone, it's basically an on-off switch. It still functions like that. As you can see, the pipe is now digging straight down, and it will continue to do so until it hits bedrock or certain types of liquids, lava I believe being one. I should attach a chest to it, but I'm just enjoying the item geyser for the moment. Now, the mining well is much, much cheaper to produce than a quarry, so it's most likely going to be one of the first, dig machines you're going to create. That said, looks like my quarry is having a fun time with this lopsided mountain. I could go on and on about this mod. I almost wouldn't know where to start in that regard. All I can say is, if you love, industrial machines and automatic building, mining, if you're really looking to expand the complexity of your game, your single-player game, or your multiplayer games, it's also multiplayer compatible, definitely give Buildcraft a look. It is, of course, compatible with Industrial Craft and Red Power as well, and others. But Buildcraft is probably one of the better places to start, I think. It's, like I said, it's got a very steep learning curve. You definitely want to check out the tutorials for it. But once you understand how the stuff works, once you understand how the pipes connect together, how you gather resources, how you can automatically construct things, and all that good stuff, it is just unbelievably awesome. I am hard-pressed to meet anyone who has started using Build or Industrial Craft who then went back to vanilla for any period of time without getting nostalgic about the mod. So yeah, definitely give it a look. This is Space Toad's Buildcraft. I'll include links to the forum post as well as his official site. I'll also include links to Direwolf20's Buildcraft tutorial videos. They are very helpful. I think you'll enjoy them quite a bit. And thank you for joining us here on the Minecraft Community Spotlight.